Chúc mừng, yeah, vâng rồi, she passed, yeah. Wow, she just passed, she just got out. Good.
You got the camera going?
Yeah, I got the camera going. Rồi thì bây giờ cô Mai có thể chia sẻ.
Hôm nay là tôi có cái giấy hẹn là 9 giờ sáng thì 8 giờ rưỡi khi mà mình tới á, thì mình ngồi mình chờ thì sẽ có người ra mời mình vô, người ta kêu trúng tên mình, đúng cái tên của mình rồi thì mình sẽ vô. Nhưng mà khi vô đó thì đầu tiên là mình giơ tay tuyên thệ, xong rồi người ta sẽ hỏi 10 câu lịch sử, mình trả lời đúng 6 câu thì đậu. Sau 6 câu lịch sử mình đậu rồi thì sau đó người ta sẽ hỏi tới cái N400 thì là cái thông tin về lý lịch của mình, tên, tuổi, cũng như là như tôi, người ta hỏi tên, ngày sinh, birthday, rồi tên cha mẹ của mình đã vào quốc tịch năm nào.
Good.
Dạ.
Để thông dịch tí xíu để cho bà Trudy có thể hiểu. She said this morning she went to the interview and they started with sort of like a little greeting, and then they asked the history questions. After that they jumped to N400 personal information. Okay, good.
Dạ. Và sau đó thì người ta hỏi tới như mình có gia đình, người ta hỏi cha mẹ mình vào quốc tịch năm nào, rồi đến mình kết hôn năm nào đó.
Yeah, so
và mình có mấy người con, mình có mấy người con.
And marriage and children.
Dạ. Rồi cái địa chỉ của mình như vậy là có đúng hay không?
Address.
Dạ. Rồi mình có muốn đổi tên hay không? Đó. Dạ. Rồi sau đó là người ta hỏi tới cái 50 câu yes no. Thì 50 câu yes no như vậy là họ không hỏi theo thứ tự, nghĩa là mình học là yes hết một cái, xong đến mấy câu cuối là no, nhưng mà họ không như vậy. Yeah. Họ không như vậy mà họ hỏi lung tung, đang Z xuống no, đang no xuống lên Z, nghĩa là họ đảo lộn 50 câu với đi, chứ không có theo thứ tự như mình học ở nhà là học một loạt là Z xong bắt đầu mình mới học mấy câu no cuối, không như vậy. Đang Z xuống no, đang no xuống lên Z, đảo đi hết. Yeah.
They can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Nhưng hỏi đảo lộn chứ không theo thứ tự câu hỏi như ở nhà mình học. Yeah. Mà theo như tôi không biết người khác thì sao, nhưng tôi thì cũng không hỏi tới 50 câu, hết 50 câu, mà họ hỏi chừng mười mấy câu thôi. Yeah. Họ hỏi mười mấy câu nhưng mà đảo lộn ngược hết. Bên đang hỏi cái câu chẳng hạn như mày có trung thành với nước Mỹ không, mới xong lại mà xuống câu no, cái là mày có thế này kia, no xong lại lên Z, xong Z lên no, đảo lộn hết đi như vậy. Mà hỏi chừng mười mấy câu chứ không tới 50 câu đấy thôi.
Cô có trả lời cái câu hỏi tiếng Anh nhiều không? Khi mà cô nghe câu hỏi tiếng Anh cô hiểu cô?
Dạ, hiểu nhiều. Dạ, thế chứ ông bảo mày đã sẵn sàng tuyên thệ chưa, thì mình gọi I am ready.
Ví dụ như hỏi về tuyên thệ đó, swear the person, you ready? She said yeah, I'm ready.
Rồi họ hỏi nhiều câu, chẳng hạn như họ hỏi mình birthday của mình. Mình nghe mình hiểu thì là mình trả lời lại bằng tiếng Anh luôn, chứ mình không ấy, không cần qua. Rồi họ hỏi chẳng hạn như họ hỏi mình là mày có muốn đổi tên không, thì như tôi thì là tôi giữ nguyên cái tên cũ, thì tôi nói là I am keep old name.
Các chị có câu hỏi gì cho cô Mai không?
Cô đi thi mấy lần không? Hay là
Đây là lần đầu.
Lần đầu.
Dạ. Cũng không run. Cũng không run.
Chị cũng không thi tiếng Anh thì giờ chị chờ tới mười mấy năm rồi chị
Sao rồi? Lúc trước có ghẹo cô á, là cô học ở đây là cô nghe tiếng Anh giỏi rồi, cô không có cần thi tiếng Việt đâu.
Nó hỏi tùm lum là một chuyện. Tôi có một câu nó hỏi ngược, thí dụ như, tức là thay vì nó hỏi nó hỏi lộn ngược lại, nói chung lại là mình phải hiểu câu hỏi. Mình phải hiểu câu hỏi là cái câu đó nó nghĩa là cái gì đã, chứ mình cứ dắt nô thì theo như mình học là nhiều khi nó hỏi vật lộn ngược lại, cái là mình trả lời sai.
Thông thường á, cái người mà thi lần đầu tiên á thì nó sẽ ít có hỏi về định nghĩa lắm. What mean á, ai mà thi rớt rồi sẽ trở lại vì hỏi định nghĩa, cho nên phải cố gắng giống cô đó, thi một lần đậu không có bị hỏi định nghĩa. Con nhiều hồi nãy tí xíu mới hỏi.
Cũng
Đứng đâu tôi hỏi Thi Quốc Tịch.
thank you Trudy help me.
Were you very nervous?
Run lắm không con?
I
You were?
dạ. Cảm ơn thầy đã tôi trong thời gian học, nhờ công của thầy với cô là tôi cũng có tinh thần rồi đó. Vâng. Vậy.
You come and see us again.
Sẽ trở lại gặp bà nha.
Dạ vâng, khi nào I have a few time I'm come
Dạ rồi, chúc mừng cô nha.
Congratulations.
chúc mừng cô. Mà bố là hai quốc tịch luôn đó nha.
Rồi chúng ta sẽ học cái phần này ha. Cái phần này thật ra chúng ta nắm vững cái câu hỏi đó, vừa có câu hỏi là có định nghĩa luôn ha.
Okay, so we're going to act like I'm the interviewer. Okay. Part 12, question 1. Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way? What do you say?
No.
No. Yes. And what does claim mean?
Tell someone. Tell someone.
So someone is referring to a person. Something. Yeah. That's like an idea or claiming to be somebody. Yeah. Something is not a person. Someone is a person. Okay. So when you claim to be a U.S. citizen, you're saying I have been, or I am a U.S. citizen. That's what claiming means, to say that that's true. So when they ask you if you have ever claimed, then you say no, because you're not a U.S. citizen. So because claimed means I have been a U.S. citizen. That's when you claim it. To say something is true. Yeah, that's a pretty good definition. No, yes. Okay. Why did you say no? Well, that would be a involved question, probably. What would you say if somebody asked you, why did you say no?
So on there it says, because I'm not a U.S. citizen.
Is that what you would say on?
I'm saying because I'm not a citizen right now.
Yes. And the question that was asked is, have you ever? That means in your whole lifetime, have you ever claimed? And so you would say, I've never been a U.S. citizen. If somebody asks you, have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen? And you say yes, then you're in trouble. Because that means that why are you taking an interview to become a U.S. citizen? If you've already claimed to be a U.S. citizen and it wasn't true, then you're in trouble. So that's why, I guess that's why they have this on there, is because they're trying to find out if you have been lying in the past or something. Anyway, we're going to move on from that because I think we all understand that. Question 2. Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the U.S.? Okay, so federal means in the whole country, okay? Something that everybody in the country is doing. Hey, come on in.
Rồi, ở đây có bài sẵn ha.
Great. So I'm Trudy. Trudy, your teacher. And what is your name? I do my best. I'm sorry if I don't get them quite right, but anyway.
Mà nói là bà sẽ cố gắng nói tên cho chúng ta, mà nếu mà nói chưa chính xác thì bà xin lỗi.
Great. So we're going through part of the N400, the questions, and what the words mean. They don't have an N400 here.
Chúng ta đang học cái đơn N400 ha. Thì
Well, I could use this and then I could just go off.
Yeah.
So you can look at it here. These are N400.
Hai cô có thể chia sẻ với nhau cái đơn đó N400 ha. Thôi chị nhìn trẻ quá cho cô nhà. Okay.
Yeah. We're in part 12 here. We're going through these questions. So question 2, have you ever registered?
Câu hỏi thứ nhì đó ha.
The federal is what I was explaining, because that means all across the nation, everybody in the nation. The state, obviously, would be just an Oklahoma election. That's here, right? Local, that means like a city or a county election. So that's why they have federal, state, or local election. Have you ever registered? Okay. No. And then somebody could, your interviewer could ask you, what does register mean? And to sign up. Yeah. So it means you filled out some paperwork and sent it in, and then they've sent you something back that says you are registered. Why do we have people register?
Tại sao chúng ta cần phải đăng ký? Tại sao chính quyền đòi hỏi chúng ta phải đăng ký trước khi chúng ta bỏ phiếu bầu cử?
Anybody?
Trả lời.
Because when you vote, you're going to sign on a record of people's names. And when you sign your name by your name, that's registered, then they'll know that you voted and you can't vote a second time.
Yeah.
So it's to keep everybody from voting more than once. It's to keep people that aren't on the list from voting because they're not registered. And so that's why we fill in the forms and we register.
Chúng ta cần đăng ký để người ta có thể theo dõi, để tránh trường hợp mà một người có thể bỏ phiếu nhiều lần, tránh gian lận.
That's you. Okay, so that's what register means, is to sign up.
Đăng ký có nghĩa là ghi danh đó ha. Đó, cái câu hỏi về nghĩa đó. Cho nên chúng ta học thuộc với cái đó.
Okay, question 3.
Câu hỏi thứ 3.
Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? No. Only citizens can vote. Citizens that have registered. So for instance, whenever I moved from Arkansas to Oklahoma, until I registered in Oklahoma, I could not vote in Oklahoma.
Đó, và
I was registered in Arkansas before.
ví dụ
then
như
whenever
ở
I
tiểu bang
move,
Arkansas đó,
I have to register in Oklahoma.
bây giờ đến tiểu bang Oklahoma thì bà phải đăng ký trước khi có thể bỏ phiếu.
And it's so, when I vote in Oklahoma, they know that I'm in Oklahoma and I'm registered. So that's when I'm allowed to vote in Oklahoma.
Đó thì mình đăng ký ở tiểu bang thì mình mới có quyền bỏ phiếu cho tiểu bang.
What does vote mean?
To elect new leader.
It's a little bit more than this, okay? Because it's not always about leaders. Leaders are people, right? Well, sometimes you can vote on questions, is what they kind of call them sometimes. So, for instance, we had a recent election to approve marijuana or not. And it was to approve more use of marijuana than before. You probably need to tell them what I'm
Đó
trying to
thì
say.
chúng ta cái từ này, cái câu trả lời này thì nó nói chung chung ha, nó chưa có phải là hoàn hảo, bởi vì nhiều khi chúng ta bỏ phiếu đó, chúng ta bỏ phiếu về một cái quyết định gì đó. Ví dụ gần đây chúng ta bỏ phiếu là có nên cho phép mà bán những cái marijuana đó, thuốc viện rồi này kia đó thì cho nên một cái định nghĩa này nó chung chung thôi, nhưng mà nó dễ cho chúng ta. Đó thì cho nên bà nói nó chưa có hoàn hảo trọn vẹn, nhưng mà thông thường đó những người giám khảo nghe cái này thì họ cũng ok.
So really vote means that you go to a polling place is what it's called. Polling place. You sign in that you're there. They give you a ballot, which is usually a long piece of paper, and it has multiple choices on it. And you pick which one you choose for in the different elections.
Đó cho nên cái từ mà bỏ phiếu đó có nghĩa là mình đi đến một cái nơi mà cái chỗ đó nhận những cái phiếu mình bỏ đó, rồi mình đến đó mình ghi danh vào, rồi mình điền ra cái phiếu bầu cử, và chúng ta thường thường là đánh multiple choice, có nghĩa là chọn ABC rồi đó. Đó thì cái từ mà bỏ phiếu nó có nghĩa là như vậy.
So not all elections are about people.
Cho nên không phải bất cứ cái bầu cử nào hoặc là bỏ phiếu bầu cử nó đều liên quan đến những người lãnh đạo.
But a lot of the time they are.
Nhưng mà thông thường hoặc là nhiều
You may
lần
have-
đó, nhiều khi là như vậy.
Yeah, you may have two parts. You may vote for president and vice president and senator, representative. You may vote for people. You may also vote about this and this and this type of other question that is on the ballot.
Yeah.
The ballot is the piece of paper that you fill in. Usually you fill in a little square, rectangle type of thing. You take your pen and you fill it in, and that's your choice for that question.
Đó, chúng ta thấy bài giải thích kỹ như vậy để chúng ta hiểu rõ đó. Ở Mỹ thì chúng ta bỏ phiếu bầu cử đó thì nó có liên quan đến những người lãnh đạo và cũng có liên quan đến những cái vấn đề trong xã hội đó, những cái câu hỏi mà nói question là những câu hỏi, nhưng mà là những cái quyết định đó để cho chúng ta hiểu.
Question 4.
Câu hỏi thứ tư.
Do you now have, or did you ever have, a hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country? So, hereditary means that you inherited the title from your parents. For instance, if your father was a king, then you became a princess. Because he was a king and he had a daughter, you became a princess. Or if he had a son, they became a prince. It doesn't happen in the United States, but it does happen across the world. So that's what hereditary means. In Vietnam, did any of you have parents that were kings or queens or princes or whatever?
Câu hỏi là ở Việt Nam á, trong chúng ta các chị ở đây có ai là dòng giống từ nhà vua không? Có ai là công chúa không? Ở đây có ai công chúa không? Only princes of their parents.
Yes. Well, it's just asking just for information's sake, okay? Did you inherit a title from anybody? Okay.
Thừa hưởng những cái chức tước á.
Order of nobility. That's a very similar question, and it doesn't apply in most countries, but if you have ever been in England and you know about the king and the previous queen and the dukes and the duchesses and stuff, that's big in England, is to have an order of nobility. Nobility is supposed to mean like basically you're better than other people. That's kind of what nobility is supposed to mean. But nobody really believes that much anymore. Anyway, so they're pretty much related, but you can be like a what else could you be like for a duchess or earl? I don't know. None of this really applies to the United States, but they're just asking about your background whenever they ask this question. So you basically say no because it's like in countries that have hereditary titles, it does refer to some power that you have. Usually refers to power in your history, as well as a lot of times money. You have a lot of money sometimes in your background and stuff like that. So that's why that's what that's about. Hereditary. Okay. Yeah. King, queen, duke, duchess, earl, it just goes on and on. There's a lot of different things that you can be called, but you're still just a person. And whenever America separated from Great Britain, when we had the War of Independence, we did away with all of that kind of stuff. Everybody's just equal.
Và nói khi mà Mỹ biệt riêng ra, tách riêng ra khỏi Anh Quốc á, thì đã thay đổi và đã không còn những cái thời kỳ mà vua chúa nữa. Cho nên ở nước Mỹ á, mọi người đều bình đẳng với nhau.
We didn't do it perfectly in the United States.
Yeah. Nhưng mà cũng không có hoàn hảo mấy.
The idea is good. Because pretty much everybody's just everybody, right?
Nhưng mà cái ý tưởng
I'm no better than you guys are.
Họ nói giống như bà cũng không có phải là
You're no better than I am. We're just all people. And that's the idea. Okay. Part 12, question 5. Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or been confined to a mental institution within the last 5 years? Okay, so no. And what does declared legally incompetent mean? Okay, so what that means is somebody at some point evaluated your mental capacity, okay, and said, I don't think that person can make good judgments about things. And so whenever you're declared incompetent, that means you can't think straight. Legally means that somebody that had the right to decide that made that decision. Okay, so I can't just say to you all, I don't think you're you're competent to decide that. I can't say that to you because I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist or a officer in the military, whatever. So it has to be somebody that has the right to evaluate you. And then that makes it legal if they do it. Incompetent is where the mental part comes in. You don't have to be declared insane. It doesn't have to be that. That is certainly, whenever you're declared insane, that certainly means that you're not mentally competent. Because incompetent is the exact reverse of competent. Competent means I'm in my right mind and I can think straight about things and I can make good decisions. That's what competent means. So when you say incompetent, that means you're not in your right mind. Okay? Mental problems. It doesn't mean that you're insane necessarily. There's lots of ways that people can temporarily means it happens and then it's gone. So you can have trouble thinking straight sometimes, and then you can get better. So I would not answer this as being declared insane. I wouldn't say that to people. I would say you have mental problems. Having mental problems.
Yeah. Đó thì cái câu đó bà nói nếu mà nói having mental problems á, là có vấn đề về tâm thần á, thì nó chính xác hơn. Cái câu kia đó thì thông thường cũng có nhiều cô chú mà học trước đó họ quen cái từ declare insane đó, nhưng mà cái từ mà having mental problems thì nó chính xác hơn. Đó thì cái câu mà ở trên câu hỏi á là đúng. Yeah.
If somebody's declared insane, that means they're at the very far end of the mental problems that you can have.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot less mental problems that can happen that can make you incompetent also.
Yeah. Đó, declare insane là nói rất là giống như là một cái bên là rất là bị nặng lắm á, rất là nặng á, cái người mà cũng như là điên là không biết gì hết á. Còn mà incompetent, legal incompetent có nghĩa là không có đủ khả năng về tư pháp, có nghĩa là cũng bị bệnh mà cũng không có bình thường đó. Đó, cần cái sự giúp đỡ của những người thân đó. Đó thì cái vấn đề nó nhẹ hơn. Đó thì khi mình nói là having mental problems là nó nói chung nhiều người trong cái tình trạng nếu mà họ có bị bệnh. Yeah.
I would hope that nobody would ask you that, but anyway. So, mental institution, what does that mean? Well, mental refers to your mind.
Đó về cái tâm trí ha.
Institution refers to usually a building where people that have trouble with their minds, they are put to take care of them. So that's what institution. There's all kinds of institutions, many different kinds of institutions. So that's why you put mental here, because that means it's a place for people that have trouble with their minds. Like a mental hospital. Right. Okay, question 6. Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes? If you do, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're in trouble, but you're going to need to pay them before you can become a citizen. is definitely what would happen, because owing means, what does owe mean? O-W-E, owe. You just say it like just owe. What owe means? Well, it means that you have, it means that there was a date that your debt was due by, and you went over it. So, due means that you need to pay it. Okay? And over, you're past the day that it was due. Overdue, that's what overdue means. A late payment, past a deadline, right? Okay, now we're ready to break. Have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? The answer is no. Now, as I've told several people before, this is a terrible question to put on your interview, your N400 form, and to ask you. It's terrible because ever not filed. Bless you. This is like, it's tricky. It's a confusing question. Anybody, even English speakers, would look at this and would say, wait a minute, let's see, what does that mean, ever not filed? And it's because of this word, not. Have you ever not filed? We're going to talk about what filed means in just a minute, but this is the thing to listen for in a question. If it has the word not in it, you need to think extra hard. Have you ever not filed? That means, is there a time when you did not file a return and you want to say no? This
ever no.
Yeah, no, ever no. That's right. It's a confusing question, and I don't think it should be in there, but because it is, and because some people have been asked it before and they failed their interview because of this question, that's why I want to make sure everybody understands the answer is no. Because you have filed your tax returns. And so when you say no to this question, that means that, yes, I filed my returns. Okay, file a tax return. What does that mean? Well, what that means is, let's see what you've got here. Yes, you filled out all the forms that ask about your taxes. They ask you how much you made last year, and how much you paid in taxes last year, and how much you gave away to something that would lower how much you owed in taxes. When you submit all of those forms, you fill them out, that's filing your tax return. Because when you send in that paperwork, that's your return that you're sending in. So file, that means to send in the paperwork, okay? You submit your tax forms. The forms that you fill out, that's another thing. A non-US resident on a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident. So in other words, what they're asking you here is, have you lied on a form? You don't want to lie on forms to the government. That's really a bad thing to do. And so they're trying to catch out if you've ever done that. And so obviously you want to say no. Because when you call yourself, let's see, this is what's, yeah, a non-US resident. Well, so this is not exactly right. Someone not in the US. It's because obviously you're in the US, right? But you're not a citizen. That's what it's basically getting at. Have you called yourself a non-US resident? That means, have you acted like you are, a resident? I mean, a citizen. Have you acted like that? Have you called yourself a non-US resident? And in usual terms, not is the meaning for non, not a US resident. Yes, that's true. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Have you called yourself a non-U.S. resident since you became a lawful permanent resident? Yeah. What local tax means? Local tax. Yes, it's like a city tax or a county tax or some other kind of tax. Why do we get charged taxes?
Tại sao chúng ta phải đóng thuế?
Because governments like city councils, okay, that's a city government. You're going to have obviously the state government, like at the Oklahoma Capitol. That's where the state government is located. All governments need money, so that's why we have taxes. The city might say, I want, this little bit of your money. And when they get a little bit from a lot of people, they get a lot of money. They're going to build bridges and keep up the roads, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
They don't do that real well here in Oklahoma City, sad to say. But the idea of having a tax on people is so that the government, whatever government it is, can take care of you. It can take care of needs. They can build sewers, they can build highways, they can build schools, they can pay teachers and stuff like that. So a city tax is a local tax. Local means right where you're at, okay? And that's enough said about that, I think. Question 9. Have you ever been a member of or associated with any organization, association, fund, foundation, party, club, or similar group in the United States or in any other places? Well, that's an extremely broad question. I mean,
It's also the longest question.
it's so broad that you almost would have to say yes, okay? Because similar group, that can mean any kind of group. But what they're mostly thinking about is political organizations, okay? So political means that you're part of the government in wherever you're at. And yeah, I mean, party, okay, so party in the United States, the political parties are predominantly Democratic and Republican. That's one of the questions in your civics questions. What are the parties, the predominant parties in the United States? Well, that's political parties. But I can say I've been in lots of clubs, because you can have clubs at high school, you can have all kinds of clubs in the United States. So it's too broad a question, but you want to say no, because unless you've been a member of a political party in Vietnam, which I don't know, maybe some of you were, but if you were a member of a political party in Vietnam, that doesn't mean that you've been in the party in the United States. But here's where you get caught, in any other places. Okay, so in Vietnam, if you were a member of the Communist Party in Vietnam, you would have to say yes to this. And then they would want to know more about it, because they're going to want to know if you are a member of the Communist Party in Vietnam. And so this is kind of a tricky question too, because it's so broad. What does fund mean? Well, a fund is a money-raising organization, raising money to support homeless people or hungry people. All kinds of funds there are out there. So you have to think about this question a little bit before you go in and be asked it, because it's a little tricky. Yes. What organization or foundation means. A group of people working together for whatever mission it is. Yeah. It's confusing question, is all I can say. So think about it and prepare your answer before you go to your interview. Question 10. Have you ever been a member of or in any way associated, either directly or indirectly, with the Communist Party? Okay, so associated either directly or indirectly. So a direct association means that you were a member of the Communist Party. That's direct, okay? Indirect means that your mom and dad were a member. Mom or dad were a member. You were a kid, you weren't a member, but you are indirectly associated in that way. So, or it could be that your brother or sister were a member of the Communist Party. That's an indirect association. So, main things to say about that. The best answer is no, but if you ever were a member of the Communist Party or had somebody in your family that was, then you need to probably say yes there. It's better to say it's better to give a true answer than it is to give a no answer. Because if you say no, but you actually should have said yes, then you can get caught on that with records. Communist Party, I don't think I need to explain that to you guys. And communism. There's quite a few examples of communism in the world, sad to say, so. And no freedom like China or Vietnam. Yeah. Y'all could probably tell me some about what communism is. What totalitarian party means. Yeah. Government controls everything. That's definitely. It comes, this word, total means everything. And totalitarian party, the government controls everything. And you know, in China, I mean, they even tell couples how many kids they can have. Used to be you can only have one kid. I mean, that's controlling everything. So totalitarian is total control. Totalitarian. Yeah, so the emphasis in that word is here. Totalitarian. It's a long word. Totalitarian. Very good. Excellent. Totalitarian. I don't think you're going to have to say it, but to know how to say it is a good thing. Government controls everything. That's right. Okay, so here's a little more difficult question. What is a terrorist organization? Well, organization means more than one person, but a terrorist by themselves is just one person, usually. And by definition, they're going to attack lots of things. you know, they might attack one other person, they might attack a group of people, they might attack people at the market, they might attack a building, they might attack, you know, some political party meeting. They're against things. That's what makes them a terrorist. And they're going to try to cause terror. Do you know what terror is? Terror is when you're extremely frightened. You are very scared, and that's what a terrorist wants to cause. So a terrorist believes this way, and you might believe this way, and they want to make you afraid because you believe opposite than they do. And so that's why they're called terrorists. They want to cause people to be extremely afraid about what they are doing and therefore change their way of action. That's what they're trying to force by attacking people and the government and, you know, buildings and stuff like that. So by definition, a terrorist is going to be against what they're attacking. They're against them. And they're trying to change things to the way they want it to be. Do you need to say anything about that?
Bà nói terrorist đó ha, là cái chữ terror là đem đến cái sự khủng hoảng đó, đem cái sự mà lo sợ, làm cho người ta rất là sợ hãi, hãi hùng đó. Cho nên những cái như là bà nói cái từ organization có nghĩa là một cái nhóm, thường thường là một cái nhóm người thì mới kêu là một cái tổ chức, đúng không? Đó, thì bà nói rằng thường thường những người khủng bố đó thì họ tấn công, họ có thể tấn công một người, tấn công một cái nơi nào đó, một cái tòa nhà nào, hoặc là chính phủ. Đó, thì nói đến cái người mà khủng bố đó, cái hội khủng bố thì họ đem đến cái sự sợ hãi để làm cho người ta phải giống như là đi theo họ như vậy, như là đem đến cái sự hãi hùng, sợ hãi.
Have you ever advocated the overthrow of any government by force or violence? Hopefully you can say no to that, because if you've ever, this is probably going to advocated. What does advocated mean? Well, supported it. Have you ever tried to make it happen? Have you ever supported the overthrow? That means to try to get rid of the government, overthrow it. Says, okay, so you know when you hear about military coups, so the military is trying to overthrow the government so that they can be in charge. And this is what we don't want, force or violence, because everybody has the right to be a member of a political party that wants to change things, okay? It's whether you try to do it by violence or forcing other people to believe what you believe. That's what is really not okay. And so it's a little bit of a different question, but it's okay if you just want to say no to that, and hopefully they won't ask you what advocated means. But it does just mean to support. What overthrow means, you know, we went over that. To basically change it, and you change it violently, usually in that kind of situation, to bring that current government down so that you can be in charge. Overthrow. It's a combination word, overthrow. Those are two separate words, and you put them together and they mean that I'm going to get rid of that one and I'm going to be in charge. Overthrow. Violence. Yeah. Physical use of force. Yeah. I don't think anybody really has too much trouble with what violence means. So question 12. Have you ever persecuted anyone because of race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion? Hopefully you can say no to that, because persecuted is a bad thing to do. And to hurt someone badly, well, it doesn't necessarily mean physically. Physically is whenever you like sock somebody in the face, right? And you beat them up, and that's physical persecution. But you can also hurt someone badly with your mouth, with your words. And one of the examples of that in the US is bullying. Bullying in schools. Have you heard of that? Bullying.
Bullying là bắt nạt đó. Bắt nạt đó ha. Thì bà nói rằng cái từ mà bức hại đó, persecuted là bức hại, hoặc là trong tiếng Việt chúng ta cũng có những cái từ giống như là bắt bớ rồi đó. Đó là cái từ persecuted là bức hại, bắt bớ. Thì bà nói rằng không những chỉ là làm đau tổn thương về cái thân thể thôi nha, nhưng mà cũng là tinh thần nữa. Ví dụ như là mình có thể làm cho bắt bớ người khác bởi cái lời nói của mình, gây cái sự tổn thương bởi lời nói đó. Cho nên cái từ persecutor là bức hại, mà bắt bớ đó, nó chẳng những chỉ là về thể xác thôi, nhưng mà còn về tinh thần nữa.
So bullying, I mean persecution or persecuted can be physical. It can also be just with your words. There's more than one way to hurt someone badly. Question 13. Have you ever been associated with the Nazi Party? Hopefully you can say no. What does Nazi Party mean? It definitely was the political party that Hitler basically created and started. But there are still Nazi Party members in the world. Even though Hitler's long gone, there are still people in the world that believe in what the Nazi Party believes. And a lot of times we call them neo-Nazis. Neo means new Nazis. Neo-Nazis, because whenever Hitler was killed and Germany was defeated, that meant that Nazi Party went out of power. But the people that still believe as Nazis do, they are neo-Nazis, or they're still currently Nazis. They're still people in the Nazi Party, in other words. So just because Hitler's gone doesn't mean the Nazi Party is gone. It's a way of believing, it's a way of thinking. Question 14. Were you ever involved in any way with any of the following? Genocide. I would absolutely hope that you would say no to that. Genocide means to try to, whole, that means everybody. Nobody has ever, that I'm aware of, I probably don't know about everything, but it's hard to get rid of everybody in a whole race, but he certainly tried to kill everybody. Hitler tried to kill all the Jews. Every Jew that he could get his hands on, he tried to kill them. And do you know what the latest figure is for how many Jews that were killed by the Nazis? Because I think it's 6 million, but I'm not sure if that's the latest figure.
Yeah, that's what I heard, but I'm sure more than that.
6 million people is a whole bunch. And so Hitler tried to kill every Jew that was out there, and that is what genocide is. To try to get rid of an entire group of people.
Cái từ này họ cũng thường hỏi lắm ha, genocide là diệt chủng á. Đó thì thí dụ mà rất là nhiều người nói là ông Hitler đó, ông Hitler đó, ông diệt những người, ông tiêu diệt những người Do Thái đó. Đó thì lịch sử cho biết ông tiêu diệt khoảng 6 triệu người đó, thì ông đã muốn tiêu diệt hết tất cả những người Do Thái ha. Có một câu chuyện lúc trước có một cái cô đó trong cái bài video mà tôi có chiếu lên đó, thì hỏi cổ cái câu này nè, cái người giám khảo hỏi genocide thì cậu nói là cậu chỉ nhớ là kill thôi, kill. Cái hỏi người giám khảo hỏi kill cái gì, nói kill all the people. So there was a lady, you know, she went for an interview and they asked her, okay, what genocide means? She said kill. And so the officer said, kill what? Said, kill all the people.
Well, I would say that killing a whole group of people is better than using the word race.
Đó, giống như bạn nói là một cái nhóm người đó ha. Cái nào là diệt chủng thì thường là tất cả một cái chủng tộc nào đó.
To kill a whole group of people. That's what genocide is.
Và cũng có nghĩa mà theo bà thì bà nói rằng chính xác hơn đó là một cái nhóm người, cũng như có một cái nhóm người nào đó và muốn là tiêu diệt nguyên cái nhóm người đó, trọn cái nhóm đó.
What does torture mean? To hurt someone badly, often to try to get some kind of confession from them. Torture is a horrible word. There can be many different kinds of torture. Y'all probably know about some of those better than I do.
Tra tấn thì bà nói cũng có những cái nghĩa khác nữa ha. Nhưng mà thông thường đó thì trong cái câu này hỏi là cái nghĩa tra tấn, cái nghĩa là mình có tham gia trong cái sự tra tấn ai đâu không ha, để mà lấy cái lời khai đó. Bà nói rằng cái nghĩa này nếu mà mở rộng thêm á thì ở nhà ví dụ ông chồng mình có tra tấn mình hay không á, hay là con cái hay là gia đình có tra tấn. So I'm just teasing them, saying maybe the husband tortured them or children.
What kill means?
Giết có nghĩa là gì ha?
To make someone die, you know, to murder someone.
I have a good example of this. Tôi có cái người Anh ha, cũng qua Mỹ giống tôi năm 1992 đó, thì ảnh điền cái tờ đơn N400 cho bà vợ, cái nó bị trả về, cái hỏi ủa tại sao bị trả về, bởi vì ảnh viết trong cái tờ đơn đó là chỉ có giết người. Ảnh qua đến ảnh so my older brother, he filled out a form for his wife and he marked in there that she killed somebody. So hey, that's okay. Who did she kill? Bị trả về phải sửa lại đó, giết người.
Okay. What religion means? Oh, I looked this one up in the dictionary even because it's like, I don't think this is not a good answer. Okay?
Nói cái câu trả lời đó thì chưa có hài lòng đối với bà.
You might could get by with that, but religion really means it's a group of beliefs. Beliefs. You can actually not believe in God, but you can believe in Buddha, or you can believe in, I don't know, all kinds of Hindu gods. And most people, whenever they hear God, they think of the Christian God, but really there's lots of things you can believe in. So
that's good. Let me change that.
You believe in a group of, or Religion is a group of beliefs, is what I would say.
Mà nói cái từ cái câu này bà thích hơn nè. A group of beliefs nè.
Yeah, of beliefs. I would take out to believe in God even.
Yeah. Mà nói cái này đó thì nó chưa có chính xác. Cho nên là và cho cái định nghĩa. Tuy rằng cái định nghĩa mà này đó, to believe in God, là thông thường chúng ta thường nghe cái đó đúng không? Thì thỉnh thoảng những người giám khảo thì họ cũng ok. Because this is commonly heard, I think. Commonly
That's
heard.
fine, you can leave it in.
But I like your definition. It's more, so I'm trying to see if we can, change the color of it. Okay, so, cho nên bạn nói là một cái nhóm ha, một nhóm của sự niềm tin đó, a group of belief. Một nhóm của tín ngưỡng gì đó. Ngưỡng có rơi không mấy chị? Có rơi ha.
Sometimes mình nhớ được vậy chứ.
That's it. Sometimes they forget Vietnamese too. They say they don't know English and they forget Vietnamese.
Rất đầu tiên là nói rất là
Yeah, because in Vietnamese we have so many. It's easy to like misspell a word.
I can
Yeah.
only imagine.
Không phải là mình giỏi.
I saw you
Yeah.
change this from one kind of.
Một cái việc thầy ở Mỹ cái bao nhiêu tiểu bang á, bao nhiêu bang á, sao em thấy là 52, em thấy là 50.
Okay. Chị này có một cái câu hỏi ha. Bởi vì hồi đó ở Việt Nam chúng ta cũng thường nghe nói rằng có bao nhiêu tiểu bang ở Mỹ, mình cũng nghe là 52 tiểu bang. And so her question is, when she heard a lot, even in Vietnam, we used to hear that the answer is to the question, how many states are there in the United States? Some people say 52. Yeah. But if you could explain,
Well,
rồi bà sẽ giải thích cho chúng ta để chúng ta hiểu chính xác luôn ha.
so there's a difference between states, which there are only 50, and additional things. Okay, so over the years, the U.S. has become intimately related with places like Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam. They are not states, but they are sort of like territories that are related to the United States very closely. And some people want Puerto Rico to become a state. Probably in the other territories, they want that also. But it has not happened. There's still only 50 states.
Đó, bà giải thích chúng ta hiểu không? Thông thường á, thật ra đó chỉ có 50 tiểu bang chính thức ha. Nhưng mà những cái lãnh thổ kia như là Puerto Rico hoặc là Guam rồi đó, thì cái đó là những cái lãnh thổ đó gắn liền với nước Mỹ, như là rất là thân thiết với nước Mỹ, nhưng mà nó không phải là tiểu bang, chỉ có 50 tiểu bang chính thức thôi, còn những cái kia là chỉ nó là lãnh thổ của Mỹ thôi. Yeah.
So if we ever had 51 states, then that would change Congress, because you have to have 2 senators per state. So then there would be 102 senators, or 104, and it would also change the number of representatives.
Yeah.
Because every state has representatives that they send to the Congress.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the major reasons why I don't know that it'll ever change. Is it would change everything in the government.
Yeah. Nếu mà chúng ta thay đổi, chúng ta cộng thêm, ví dụ như chúng ta có 51 tiểu bang đó, thì chúng ta phải thay đổi quốc hội mà. Và chúng ta phải thay đổi cái số thượng nghị sĩ, senator là thượng nghị sĩ, rồi những cái người dân biểu nữa, representatives. Cho nên vì như vậy đó, rất là có nhiều cái sự phức tạp lắm, rắc rối. Cho nên họ có thể là không bao giờ thay đổi 50. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it is a little confusing.
Yeah. Nhưng mà cũng có vài cái sự mà hơi khó hiểu tí xíu ha. Nhưng mà mình biết là những cái kia là cái lãnh thổ thôi chứ không phải là cái chữ vàng. Good question.
That's a good question. It's a to be determined question.
Vì sao mình có nghĩa là trong tương lai cái này để quyết định trong tương lai ha.
All right, what we're going to do is we're going to have you read individually, okay? So we'll start here and we're going to just go in a circle, all right? So,
How many states are there in the United States?
okay, so as I've told many people, the
Em phải đưa chữ lắm.
the last sound is very important in English. So you have to say how many states. If you don't say the S, it's just one. So how many states? Okay, so can you read it again for me?
How many states are there in the United States?
Very good. That's great. I gotta have my shoelaces here. Let's go to the next one. All right. Do you want to read?
Cố gắng đi chị.
Đọc đi chị, đọc sai là chữ lại, tôi sửa lại cho
Không sai là câu chữ.
Yeah.
cái này chưa học.
What is the capital of the United States?
Chị thấy chữ gì chị đọc cái đó thôi.
I liked that, Tal. That was good.
Chị đọc thôi. Cố lên chị, đừng sợ chị. Ai cũng như chị thôi à. Cố lên. What is the
Capital.
of the
United
United
States.
States?
States. Yeah, so these two letters go together, and they're states. States. You want to try that one too? Okay, let's hear you.
What is the capital of the United States?
Okay, so United. United States, yeah. I've worked with some folks before because a lot of times you wants to come out as Jew. Don't say Jew. Jew is wrong.
Mà nói cái giọng người nói chúng ta nhiều khi du á, mình kêu là du á. Du là du á.
Don't say that. Just say United States. Very good. Okay. We're going to go on to on.
What are the colors of the
Flag. This has got to be one of the hardest words for you guys. Flag. Flag. Okay, so this is what you don't want to say. Do not say plag. Plag. No. Flag. Flag. What are the colors? Colors. Colors of the flag. Remember the G sound is at the end. G. Flag. Flag. You don't have to make it, you don't have to say flag. You don't have to make it two syllables, just one. Flag. Flag. Just have it at the end. What are the colors of the flag? That's good. Okay, next. Towel.
What is in the American?
Flag. Yeah. But remember this word is. This is the verb. Okay, so this is a very important word. And if you're talking to somebody and you say, what is in the flag? What is? They're gonna like, what? What is in? Is in the flag. That's very good. Got it. Okay, how? I'm going to listen closely here.
When is Flag Day?
Excellent. When is Flag Day? Very good. Okay, now we're back to. Yeah, now.
What was the first U.S. capital?
That's good, except for was. Yeah, you always have to have that was. What was the first U.S. capital? Yeah. So do you know the answer to that? Do you know the answer? This is
Just what? No, the first capital.
That's all right. Washington, D.C.? That's what I would have said too. I don't know if that's
I
right.
think it's from New York. I heard it's New York.
Yeah, it could have been New York. But was it the U.S. then? I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. Okay. So, do you want to read next? If you don't, that's fine with me. I'm not. I'm going to read it for you first, okay? What state has the most people?
What state had the more people?
Okay, that's good except for dropping the last sound. Has most.
More.
You have to have it. Most. Can you say most? Most people. That's like I was telling you, that's probably, at least in my experience, that's the biggest difference between Vietnamese and English, is the last sounds. What state has the most people? Yeah, it's one of the biggest differences. Okay, good. Let's go on. Would you like to try that one, or would you like to hear me say it first?
So after in United States.
Yeah. Okay, so that was a very good try. This is south. South. It's north, south, east, west. Those are directions on the compass, okay? North, south, east, west. So what country is south of the United States? Good. And that would be Mexico. Okay, and then we have
What country is north of the United States?
That's good. The only thing I'm hearing that's a problem is there's no T here. What? Yeah. You know what I heard from you? Was. What? Mm-hmm. What country is north of the United States? And of course that's Canada. Okay, let's see. Tell.
What is the largest?
Yeah. State. Yeah. Largest. Yeah. That means the biggest. What is the largest state? Largest. What have you got written here? Hein? What is
I
this?
think from the last class, I think I should erase this.
Nó chess.
Right.
Nó chess, nó đâu chess.
What is thôi lớp chúng ta giỏi rồi, không cần cái này nha. Cái này cho mấy người lớn tuổi
Nó có
thôi.
S thôi.
Đó con.
Nó đọc S.
Đó, cheers. Okay. I tell them this for the elderly, not them.
Largest. So the G here is not a G sound. It's a J. Largest. It's just one of the ways that English is different. Largest state. Okay. How?
Who live here first?
Who? Say that.
Who live? Who live?
Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's lived.
Cái âm đi nha.
So lived with the D is past tense.
Đã, quá khứ.
Live with no D is current tense.
Không có chữ đi đó là hiện tại ha.
Lived.
Chữ đi là quá khứ.
Lived here first.
Ai đã sống ở đây trước á? Cái câu đó ai đã sống?
Okay.
Why
Kind of a long one.
do people want to become citizens?
Oh, that's excellent.
This is citizens.
Very good, very good. Okay.
Cái này
Wait, everybody else, hang on just a minute. I'm trying to listen.
Who live in the white house?
And you got house really good. Remember, white. Uh-huh. It has to have the T, white.
Yes, white.
Lives. I thought you got lives pretty good. Lives. Uh-huh. Yeah. And again, hi. What is this right here?
That's for the
It's
elderly,
good.
but they want
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. Sometimes we remember us. You know?
If it's helpful for y'all, I'm fine with it. Who lives in the White House? That would be the president. Let's see, where are we at?
Where does the president lives?
Okay, so that was a really good try at president. President. Yes. And right here, there's no S. Live. Where does the president live? Yeah. So this word is also hard because it's this two letters that make one sound. President. And that's where you have to do your lips together. President.
Rồi cái từ tổng thống đó là chúng ta nhìn cái miệng của bạn đó phải ngậm môi lại ha. Nói chuyện về ông tổng thống phải ngậm môi lại rồi. Rồi phà hơi ra nha, phà hơi ra nữa. Ngậm môi và phà hơi ra.
Why do people want to come to America?
Excellent, except want.
Want.
I got it. I understood what
Want
you
is
said.
similar to want. Want.
Yeah. If you just said one, they would think one. And people want to come to America. Okay.
When is Columbus Day?
Excellent. Very good. Uh-oh, here's a hard one.
When is Thanksgiving Day?
Thanksgiving, I understood that perfectly. Yeah. You gotta remember, this is a 2 letters, 1 sound.
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
Nói trên miệng bà với lưỡi bà ha cái từ là cảm ơn á.
Thanksgiving. So just think about if you're at home with the family and you're trying to give thanks. Thanksgiving. Yeah, just think of it. Thanksgiving. Okay.
What was the first U.S. state?
Excellent. No more needs to be said on that. Okay, what have we got next?
Cái gì đó? Was the father of our country?
Yes, except the first word is who.
Who?
Yeah, it has to be almost like a you. It's who. Who is. And in this word, the O is not O, it's who. Who is the father of our country? That was good. That was very good, though. Okay.
President.
Yeah, that's very good. Who was? Remember the was. Yeah.
Yes, đó là Z ha. Cái âm Z á.
Who was? First. You said first. Good. First president. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Was president is on the bill.
Yes. And this is this is an incomplete question because it doesn't say which bill.
Mà nói cái câu hỏi này là nó không có trọn vẹn ha, bởi vì nó không có chỉ ra chính xác là cái tờ đô la nào.
We have different presidents on different bills.
Bởi vì chúng ta có nhiều ông tổng thống trên những cái tờ
So
khác nhau.
the $1 bill has a certain president. The $5 bill has a different president. The $10 bill has a different president. The $20 bill has a different president. So that's an incomplete question, but it is what it is. What president is on the bill? Okay.
Who was the second president?
Do you know the answer to that one? That's a hard question. I just thought I'd ask.
Coi cái câu trả lời của câu này không?
Just was
No, he was the first. This is the second one, number 2.
Number 2 ha.
I think it's John Adams.
Yeah.
John Adams. Second president, okay?
Who was George Washington?
Okay, who was he?
Câu trả lời.
No, first Washington.
First president.
President.
President. That's right. Okay.
who was là cái đồng
Abraham
Lincoln.
Lincoln. That's right.
Abraham Lincoln.
Thank you.
Abraham Lincoln. He was another president. I don't know which one he was. Okay, let's see. Oh goodness, this is a hard one.
When
You want to take a stab at it?
when is President Day.
Presidents. Yeah. And see, because it has this S here,
Yeah.
you have to say president's,
President.
president's, president's day. That's good. All right.
Memorial Day.
Very good. Memorial. That's good. All right.
Name one right in the Bill of Rights.
That's good. That's good, On. This is one of the tricky ones because it has right and then it has rights. Rights. Yeah. Right. Name one right in the Bill of Rights. Yeah. Yes. That's good. And
Congress.
excellent. And
How many U.S. senators are there?
okay, what I heard was senator. Senators. Senators are there. Yeah.
Where does the Congress meet?
Where does the Congress? So this word, the accent is on the first syllable. Congress.
Congress.
Yes.
Congress.
Where does the Congress meet? Good.
What does the Congress do?
Okay. Remember, see this does, see this S?
Yeah.
Does. Does. Yeah. You have to have that there to make the word complete. What does Congress? Congress. Yeah. President. And let me hear you say vote. 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 Yeah. Be sure and put the T, vote, vote, for president. 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 That's good. That's good. On.
Where is the White House?
Excellent. I heard you saying it right. That's good. No.
When is Labor Day?
Labor.
Labor Day.
When is Labor Day? Yeah.
What do we have to pay the government?
Yeah. Government. That's good. Why do we have to pay the government? Taxes.
Who can vote?
Excellent. I heard that T. Very good.
Why do people want to be citizens?
Citizens. Citizens. So the S, citizens, means more than one, a group. Why do people want to be citizens? Yeah. So you were sounding it out by syllables, and that's good. So what I would do is say independence. Independence. Excellent. Excellent. And remember, when you have the C and the E, it's a independence. Independence Day.
Independence Day.